Well, I think that museums in the Netherlands, but perhaps everywhere in the world, have always been much too inward-looking organizations, always busy with themselves, with their collections, hardly with the public, with their audience. That's something that came on later in the 70s or 80s or whatever. And now they need to participate in a big new change. It isn't enough anymore that, you try to get as many visitors a year as possible. It's much more important now to get a steady community of people supporting and liking you. Before you decide on forming a community and tempting people to come to your place, at first you have to be very critical about yourself and think about what role, what position now and in the future you want to have, you want to play. Many museums do not know very clearly why they do exist. Well, of course, they know they were founded by a certain person or by a municipality or by the country, and that a certain kind of things should be preserved and exhibited there, but it's not enough. But of course you don't have to think this out all by yourself, and here the social media come into play as well. You just have to make sure that people talk about your museum, and then all kinds of impressions and ideas and prejudices and everything comes out. And if you're not the kind of person that gets hurt or angry very easily, then you can look at it and say to yourself, well, apparently this and that is what they expect us to do, and this and that is what they like about us, what they like to see, what they want to see, what they come back for, what they recommend to friends and colleagues, to people they know. Perhaps this is what we should focus on and get on with. Museums have the task to help people to change the world, and I think that it doesn't matter whether it are tiles or puppets or ethnology or whatever. It all shows people that the world is a variety of things, a layered world with a lot of history, a lot of different people, a lot of different customs, a lot of intangible heritage as well. You can connect to all the objects you have in a museum, connect to the tangible history you can keep in a museum. And this broadens the perspective of people, makes them relate to other people, makes them think that, other people who look differently and wear different clothes and express themselves differently are interesting and worthwhile and not as different as they are. So that's very important. Museums can do several things. The first thing they can do, and they are already doing, is put everything they have on the internet and then let people all around the world do with this virtual collection whatever they want. People using iPads and iPhones can, of course, make their own museums and combine their own objects to form their own collection of things they relate to, they think are important, and say something about their identity. So then you help people to express themselves, in fact, and to relate to certain objects, and it doesn't matter where they come from. I shouldn't mind that. It always has the buy effect of, well, getting attention to some parts of your museum. But the other thing is, of course, that you also can manipulate that. You can also have your own page on Facebook, and you can, well, I'm only a supporting organization, but we are tweeting all day with, and we have all kinds of followers, and we are following all kinds of institutions, politicians, heritage organizations, nationally, internationally. It takes some time, and it's also very much at random. It's very hard to know what it will give you, but nevertheless, it's very interesting. It gives you ideas, and it confronts you with ways of thinking and people and organizations, ways of organizing you never thought of.